From Guatemala to the USA, he drinks his coffee every day. Coffee do, blah, 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 blah.
Welcome back, everybody. Today's video is a comment response / video response to a Steve Cuevas. I started writing Steve a reply to his comment, but it got too long. So I asked him if I could make a little video response to him, and he was good with it. So thank you, Steve. So I'm going to go over a few things in his comments and go over them one at a time. So in his comment, he said, "You watched every video, great journey, good thinking about insulation. If you didn't know, I'm thinking about buying some high temp insulation and wrapping my drum roaster with it, because I am losing quite a bit of heat in it." And he says he recommended putting the heat gun toward the bottom of the roaster. Well, in here, one or more times, I will put a picture of a design I did right at a year ago. And I've only been building my roaster for 4 months, so you'll be able to see my concept and how it actually came out or is coming out. And in my, we'll go ahead and pull up the picture here. In my design, I had originally intended for my roaster to have 2 heat sources, so that I'd have plenty of heat. Whether I stage them or use them in parallel, I did want to not only have the exchange rate, the air change rate, but have enough heat and just really get the air moving around the drum roaster. And if you look at the picture, you'll see some red lines that are going around the drum. Now, the problem with putting it on bottom and with my original design is that I don't have a jig nor a drill press to cut the angle I need, the 90-degree to center line, which on the bottom of the roaster on a round pot. So because of this, I went ahead and put it on back so I could just make some effort, some progress with the roaster and work out other things, because I can always cap a flat surface very easily and move my heat source. It's a good idea. I did want it, but I'd rather make progress than worry about initial design. Let's go back to the comment here. Let's see, he also said add an exhaust fan to the exit port, variable speed. You'll need to pull the heat gun back a little so there is a mixture of air and heat. This will pull the chaff out and draw heat through the beans. Absolutely. I have a wet dry vac that I'm planning on using. The issue with that is I needed to find a good exhaust port, and in the picture I show, I think, 1.5 inch square tube that goes up and across the back of the roaster. But that, finding the square tube, getting it cut, mitered, and put into place and all that, I didn't end up doing that because I, didn't find a square tube. Didn't put forth a whole lot of effort. But more to the point, I actually had a aluminum tray, cookie sheet, straight aluminum, doesn't have a non-stick surface on it. And I was out just messing with my roaster a few weeks ago, and I noticed that if I just cut the sides off the roaster, excuse me, I'll show you. Not cut the sides off the roaster, but cut the sides off the pan. See? There's a pan, there's a cut side. So if I cut this, it's already bent. All I have to do is cut 2 halves, put them together, and I have a round bottom already bent, and I have a chute. So that's what I ended up doing on, excuse me here, pull my roaster off. That's what I ended up doing for my exhaust port and charging chute. I'll get this thing off here and show you. So there you go. See how it's put together. I tried brazing the aluminum, and it's held in some spots, but overall I had to put some more pieces in it. So there's a side view, and on the back you'll see that it's open on top. There we go. And I don't have it where I really can connect a vent pipe off of it. I will eventually. And that's really just a matter of time and finding the right transition piece. But as far as having a fan on variable speed, absolutely. It's just finding the right fan. I've seen computer fans, computer CPU fans that are, 3 or 4 inch square, and other ones, but it's really just finding the right balance between size, connectability, cost, and whether it is an AC or DC motor to be able to vary the speed. So that's where we're at on that. And then he says he would add temperature probes and use a data logging software called Artisan, which I've never heard of before, so thank you for that little tip. I looked it up. Looks like a freeware, and it looks really intense and does some great trending, etc. And I said he can't wait to see it complete, and that can't wait till I start manufacturing so I can buy one. Well, there will be no manufacturing and buying. This is a what they call it, a task of love, a work of love kind of thing. This is a lot of trouble, and you saw the video, Steve, so you know how much trouble this is. And a lot of the stuff I didn't even publish because it was just a little monotonous. But getting to the temperature probes, this is a great topic. To put on temperature probes, I can go with straight up analog, which would be fine for right now, or get the Type K and put it on the fluke meter, or get some other high temp device, barbecue style device. Now, I use an app called Roastmaster. Now, Roastmaster is made by Rainfrog, and no, I didn't do a 26-minute roast. That's a long story there. But I use Roastmaster, and it has the ability to interface with different temperature sensing devices, and one being an Arduino, and it's actually, the name leaves me now. But the thing about the Arduino, I'm going to look up the website real quick while I talk. The thing about the Arduino is that it can be a little pricey to get started. And as far as the temperature sensors go, it really is a trade-off between cost and how I'm really going to use the profiles. And you can go to rainfroginc.com to see the website if you're interested in the Rainfrog app. But Phidget, that's what it is, Phidget. It's Arduino, but I guess it's a brand name or website called Phidget. And on that website, the motherboards run you about $150 for one. The analog input board, $20-30. Temperature sensors run you $15 to $20 a piece. Plus power supply, plus a little black box mounting kit, snap track, all these things to mount the Arduino, the Wi-Fi connector for it, so you don't have to have a PC connected to it, which will have Wi-Fi, and then you can connect to the app here, and you can trend all these points. So to do the Arduino, which is really what I'd want, because if I'm going to put any sort of automation on this drum roaster, I'm going to automate it. You understand? We're going to have not only bean mass temp, ambient temp, and exhaust temp. We're also going to have outside air temp, outside air humidity. We're going to have drum speed on a variable speed. We're going to have an SCR controller on the heat. I'm going to have variable speed on the motor, on the exhaust, and we're going to do it right. You know, we're going to have a control panel, switches, knobs, pilot lights, the whole deal. And the reason I haven't done it, for one, is cost and going down the rabbit hole of automation. And the other reason is more practical. Do I think I can elevate my roast level, my roasting ability with all that? And how much more will I be able to elevate it? Beyond that, before all that, is getting the roaster to work consistently. And that's the biggest thing that I would say to answer your question why I haven't done it yet, which is kind of I think where you were going with it, and making suggestions, which appreciate the suggestions, Steve. But it's really making sure, before putting much more money into this, is making sure it works consistently and I like it, and I'm getting there, absolutely getting there. When I'm finding that I fix one thing, something else breaks or causes another problem, mainly with the alignment of the drum. So it's a lot to do, and big decisions, and in a sense big money by comparison when you talk about these other roasting systems that run you $1,000 to $2,000 bucks, depending on which one you go with. There's some deep bed, fluid bed roasters you can get for $2,000, but I don't want to do that. I want to automate it. I want to have the control panel. I want all the trends. I want all this and that. But spending $300 or so by the end or more on automation, and none of it will be worth anything if a drum roaster doesn't work. So if you're following along with this, I would say in building something, just be patient. Be patient, take it one step at a time. I'm a year into this after the initial design, and I've only been building for 4 months. And it's frustrating. It's but I wouldn't trade it, to be honest. And so I think that covers every bit of your questions. It's 13 minutes. Yeah, I better end this right now. So thanks for the comment, Steve. I really appreciate it. Look forward to more comments, and if you have any more tips, please pass them along for myself and other people to maybe get further in their home roasting projects. I'd be glad to hear those comments. So, hope I answered your questions. If you have any more, please let me know. I'll be more glad to answer them. So, with that, I'm going to get out of here. Take care, everybody, and we'll see y'all later. Bye, and happy roasting.